Hey gardening friends, it's Destry. Welcome back to my yard. Today it is a balmy Sunday here in the Pacific Northwest in Springfield, Oregon, and today I'm going to be replacing my cocoa liner for my window box and planting up some beautiful primroses. So I've had this cocoa liner in this window box for about 2 years now. And what's really interesting about these liners is that the birds love them. So eventually, if you have birds in your yard, they will start to come and collect that cocoa and use it to nest in. Also, they just sort of wear out after time, after a time. So I went ahead and purchased another one, and they're kind of interesting. They kind of have like a sticky quality to them. I'm assuming that's because of the glue they use to kind of hold this all together, but they're pretty inexpensive. So I went ahead and grabbed this today, and let me show you the beautiful primroses I'm going to be planting up today. So here are the gorgeous primroses I'm going to be planting up today. Now, I love primroses. What's great about them is, here we are at the end of January, and they will show up one of the first things at your garden centers, and they're actually pretty cold hardy. So if we had like a really hard frost, they might die, but honestly, they do pretty well. And the other great thing about them is you just go through and deadhead them, and they just keep blooming. I do hit them with some liquid fertilizer now and again, and that does help as well. But they're pretty hardy little plants, and they give that pop of spring color that all of us are after right now. So I'm going to go ahead and plant up my window box today, and I'll show you how I take out the liner and all of that. And then underneath that, I have my raised garden beds, and that is actually filled with pansies. So pansies or violas are also a really great choice. This time of year, they'll start to pop up early in the garden centers. And again, really cold hardy, and they will bloom their little heads off until about, late, actually say midsummer. When it gets a little too hot, they start to fizzle out. But from here until like all through spring, they will just look great as long as you just, deadhead them. So primroses, pansies, highly recommend for your early spring gardens. So when I pull this out, I'm going to try to conserve as much of the soil as I can. So I do have just a bucket here that I'm going to try to kind of dump the soil in, but I probably will add some new soil also. Also, I just wanted to apologize if you hear any dogs barking. We've got our neighbor dogs, we've got our dogs, and if you've watched my channel for a while, you know I have 2 Aussie Doodles that are kind of crazy. So anyway, hashtag real life gardening here if you hear any dogs barking. But let's go ahead and see if we can lift this out of here and conserve any of this dirt. Now, the other thing I'm planning on doing, you guys, is actually leaving the cocoa liner, this cocoa liner, out where I have been feeding the birds. Instead of just throwing it in my recycle, in my compost or whatever, I think I'm going to leave it out for the little birdies this spring to make their nests with. And hopefully that will deter them from using my new cocoa liner to build their nests. Ooh, it is a little bit heavy, I'm not going to lie. But I'm hoping I can get it out in one piece. Maybe I might lose it. Ooh! Okay, maybe this wasn't the best idea ever. Ooh! Ooh! Okay, I got it. Okay, so I'm gonna just dump. Ah! Did you see that? Okay, here's what I got going on. I'm trying to dump the soil, and I will evaluate it. If it's full of roots, oh, look at all this. If it's too filled with roots, I might not keep it, but I thought if it's in good shape, I might use it for the back, or the underneath at least, as some filler. Get all the cocoa out of there, the birds. Hey, my dog's over here trying to eat it already, but I'll leave it for the birds. So it does have some roots in it, but it's not too bad. Get all the cocoa out of here. All right, and then I think I'm gonna grab a broom and just kind of, maybe I could just use my fingers actually and kind of sweep some of this off. Get rid of any spiders and just some of this debris. I really probably should go in here and repaint this little board that I originally screwed this to. Actually, my husband screwed it to for me, but that's a project for another day. I don't really feel like doing any painting today. I just want pretty spring color. You guys know what I mean? How about you? Let me know in the comments. Have you planted any spring color, even in pots or anything yet? Do you have any bulbs popping up yet? All right, so now I'm gonna grab my new liner and just pop it in here with any luck. Looks great. And I think I'm going to start with this, old soil first, and then I'm going to put some newer soil up on top. But for cost effective here, we're going to try to reuse what we can, as long as it doesn't have too much roots in it. I'm going to kind of pick through, and if it's got too bad of roots, I'm not going to use it, but it should be all right. Let me grab my trowel here. That might save me a little energy. Oh my gosh, I am so ready for spring. Now, I haven't started planting any of my seeds yet because it's still a little early for me, but I did just order up, get rid of that root. I did just order up some seeds that are geranium seeds. And geranium seeds you can plant a little bit earlier in our area. Well, you can plant them inside, I guess is what I'm saying. So I am waiting for those to come. I ordered them from Swallowtail after watching one of Laura's videos about planting geraniums, because I love the color of geraniums, and I thought that would be a fun thing to plant now, kind of early in the spring. Okay. Gonna reuse a little bit more of this, and then I think I'm gonna switch to some, because there are some like big clumps of roots, so I'm getting rid of those. And then I'm gonna switch to some newer topsoil here for the kind of the top. Okay, put that down. And then this is kind of my new potting soil. It's a little on the dry side. Put a little bit of that in here. Make sure this is seeded. Seems a little smaller, but I think seems a little smaller than the one I had in there, like all together, but I'm not sure why. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my flowers. Feel bad for my little primroses here, or I'm kind of using this as a surface here, but that should work. Let me just place these. I got 6. I'm not sure if 6 are gonna fit. Oh my gosh, I really kind of want to jam them in though. I want to get as much color up here as I can. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. All right, let's backtrack this out a little bit and get these planted up. So I think these primroses were like, how much were they? I think they're like $1 each, basically $1.50, something like that. Pretty cheap. Pretty cheap for as long as they last, I have to say. They do like a lot of water. This one's really dry, so I'm gonna have to get in here with some water right away. Oops, I'm making a mess here. So we got pink. Let's do a little yellow. I love the colors of primroses too. Like this, this pink one I just put in has like a little margin of yellow. In fact, I should get a little bit more closer of an angle for you guys to really see what I'm doing here. And I'm making a mess of these. All right, I'm gonna switch my camera so you guys can see a little closer. Okay, let's see here. Do the dark ones next. And I'm gonna go back in and backfill these. Kind of tuck them in. They're so stinking cute. Them forward just a little bit. Really pop those flowers forward. There we go. Nice. Okay. Now I'm going to backfill. right, so here's my trick. Before I water this in, I want to clean off all the petals of any of the dirt. Let me show you what I'm gonna do. After I do this step, then I'm gonna water in. Here we go. Amazon. I'm in love with this thing. Let's do it. All right, looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna get everything watered in, and that's gonna be it for my project today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you need me, I'll be hanging out in my yard. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.